Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I am heading out to one of my favorite nurseries and one big box store. I need to pick up some soil and I'm going to look at a few plants and let's see what I come back with. Okay, I am at stop number 1. Let's see what I pick up here. Well, believe it or not, this is a cacti and succulent channel, but let's see if you can spot the one succulent that I did purchase in here. Maybe over there. Okay, so that was from stop number 1. So now I'm at that other place. So let's see what I can find in there. Okay, I left place number 2 and I came home with 2 succulents. Here's another item back there. That was an excellent deal. And then a little snack for myself. This is Aeonium Pink Witch, and I got this for $19.99 at Home Depot, and that's a heck of a deal. Look at all those heads it has. It's a fairly decent looking plant. I'll definitely have to, I'll probably pot it into the ground. We'll see, but I'm not going to be planting these today. And you can see on the front of the tag, Carnival Aeoniums. Now this is like the 2nd or 3rd day of spring, and these Aeoniums do go dormant in the summertime, so it doesn't have really much left until it starts to go dormant, but I thought this was an excellent deal and I could not pass it up. $19.98. It's a nice looking plant. All right, so let me show you what else I have. Now this is Euphorbia Milii, and this I purchased at Armstrong Nurseries, and I think it might have been for $6. I'm not sure, but that's not too bad. And it has yellow flowers. Now the ones that I have pink, and I have another one that has red way in the corner. I don't know if you can see it. Over there is my other Milii. It's on the left-hand side up against the fence. Okay, so I will be replanting this one for sure. You can see that it is root bound. And it looks like it's in kind of like a peat moss type soil. Now these plants are just like any other succulent. Keep them on the dry side. Water only when they are dry, and thoroughly water them. That's a nice looking plant. Okay. Now the next one, as far as succulents and cacti are concerned, this is, now this is at Home Depot. Let me see. Polaskia Chichipe. And this will grow tree-like. I'll have to look up the price for that for you, what I paid for it. This was also very reasonable. So I will be unpotting this one, and more than likely I'll put this in a pot until I decide where to plant it. Maybe a couple of different pots. I'll separate it out. I also want to mention that this plant will bloom in early summer, and the flowers are cream colored, and this plant is a night bloomer. All right, let me show you my other items that are not succulent and cacti related. Okay, and this is the Asclepius fascicularis, also known as narrow leaf milkweed, and this is the plant that the monarch butterflies like. And this plant requires very, very little water. You want to keep it on the dry side, and it's, like I said, a California native plant. So if you live in Southern California, this is a great plant to plant for the monarch butterflies. Here it is, and it will get lavender and white flowers, and you need to keep it in full sun. All right. Okay, this is not a California native, but it does like drought-tolerant type conditions. And this is Erysimum, also known as a wallflower. And you can see the flowers on here, and this is a plant that pollinators love. In fact, when I purchased it, I think the bees were kind of mad at me because I had to move it away from them. Okay, so it says perennial for pollinators, Brightside Lemon Glow, and it says features free-flowing, abundant flowers on compact, bushy plants, blooms in the spring, excellent heat tolerance. Okay, great choice for large containers, rock gardens, or at garden's edge. And it says a healthy garden is one abuzz with bees. Provide food for beneficial bee species with this colorful mix of blooms. Okay, grows best in sun or part sun. Grows 18 to 22 inches tall, and you would space it 18 to 22 inches apart, and you water 2 to 3 times a week until established. Okay, now here's something I didn't know. They had a little gardening tip here. It says provide shallow bird baths sprinkled with sea salt to provide water and minerals for pollinators. I did not know about the sea salt, so that's interesting. So this I will more than likely plant in the ground somewhere. And like I said, I won't be planting these out today. And one last plant before I show you the vegetables that I bought. Okay, this is French lavender. It's an herb. It's Lavandula dentata, and it does best in light, well-drained soil. Attractive mounds of foliage give rise to powerfully scented flowers. Yeah, I think I might keep this one in a pot. But this is a nice, healthy looking plant. Now this I also got at Armstrong. Let's see what the roots are. Okay, it's not root bound, so that's good. Okay, now I will show you just a real quick peek at the vegetables that I bought. But first I'm going to give you an update of the RV pad area and where I put the rug. So this is where we ended up putting the rug on this RV pad. And you can see we put our old fire pit there. My husband painted it, and I'll show you a little video of that. And we took out part of the bottom part because it was all rusted out. I was going to turn it into a succulent planter, but now we're just going to turn it into a table. So he has a board, and he's going to paint it the same color as the trim on there. I think it's a good color. So this is what it looks like out here. And I really do like this rug here. I think it looks much better here than what it would on our patio. And I do need to get different cushions. So maybe orange cushions might kind of look good. Pick up one of the colors in the rug. And if you have a suggestion for a cushion color, leave your comment down below in the comment section. Your opinion is most appreciated. Now this is what the fire pit looked like prior to us painting it, and you can see that it's black and it's starting to rust out a bit. Now the bottom portion rusted out completely, so that is why I'm not going to be using it as a succulent planter. But I think using it as a table would be a really good idea. And here is my husband giving the fire pit, now going to be a table, a coat of paint, and we are using Rust-Oleum. Okay, this is one of those vertical growing towers, and I'm going to use it for vegetables. Right now I have down at the bottom, I have onions, and on this layer I have potatoes. Here I have a marigold, but this is a cherry tomato. That's kind of a sickly looking basil that I had in another container, but I think it'll perk up and do well here. This is a bell pepper, kind of an orange colored one. And of course more marigolds here. Now I need to get something for this level, but up on top I have strawberries. And I did order a fine mesh net, and that should be coming tomorrow so that I can cover these up so the birds don't get them. But I'm pretty happy with this tower so far, and with that rug purchase. I think it's going to look nice once we get that tabletop on that former fire pit, and I'll put a planter on top of it, you know, like a bowl type planter with succulents. So it'll look a whole lot better once I get the cushions and the top on the former fire pit. All right, that is it for now. Thank you for watching. Check back with me next week to see what I'm up to. Bye.